My name is Stephen Fisher and I'm a historian with Lindblad Expeditions. We're sailing along the coast of Japan on board the National Geographic Resolution, exploring the ports and harbours of this fantastic country. We travel through a wonderful timeline of Japanese history, from warring tribes to the period of relative peace under the Tokugawa shogunate, and of course feudal-era Japan and the times when it shut itself off from the rest of the world. And then we travel into the 19th century, when Japan opened its borders and welcomed Western culture. Travelling by sea, we're able to see many different parts of Japan. We can call in at ports of different sizes, visiting big cities like Hiroshima or Kobe, as well as smaller ports that are a little bit harder to reach, like Matsue. This way we get to see all different aspects of Japanese culture, from the modern, busy cities, right down to the small local villages and historic temples and shrines. Japan has a very rich history, from its early days as a feudal nation, the stories of samurai and geisha, and then Japan's opening up to the world in the 19th century, an event that would eventually lead it into a headlong collision with the Western world in the Second World War. Japan really is a land of contrasts. We can walk through a busy, bustling city full of modern buildings, tower blocks and skyscrapers, and then immediately alongside them we might come across a small shrine or temple that's several hundreds of years old. We see the busy lives of modern Japanese people and their technology, and contrast that with the slow and deliberate actions of serving food and tea ceremony. Some of the biggest contrasts are what we see in the gardens, where strolling paths will lead us through different shrines and temples, different viewpoints overlooking different scenes of beauty that have been deliberately constructed and arranged over hundreds of years. And one of the things we see in the gardens is the incredible attention to detail. Trees have their individual leaves pruned to make them the perfect shape. Even paths are swept on a daily basis to remove the leaves and little grains of sand that might have spilled from flower beds. Another contrast that we see is in the architecture. We see modern Japan with its earthquake-resistant skyscrapers and shiny metal surfaces glittering in the sun. In the historic quarters, we pass long stone walls and timber constructions. We visit some of the original 12 castles of Japan that survived the feudal era and the Second World War. We see places like Nagasaki and Hiroshima, where we can learn about the Second World War and the impact that it had on the people who lived here. The beauty of this trip around the Japanese coast on National Geographic Resolution is just how much we get to see. All of these different aspects of culture, from modern technology to historic ceremony. They coexist so perfectly alongside each other, packed into one destination.